right? When you leave out your house, and, you be kind to people, be kind to master. Love that neighbor as thyself. Yep, be a productive member of society. Right, make sure that you're doing what he wants you to do. We spend $1 trillion, don't have nothing to show for it. And turn your back on the Most High. That's why I say you add sin to sin. And don't realize that you add sin to sin. You're looking for blessing. Ain't gonna be no blessing. You can do all the study you want to and be in this book. If you don't actually operate in the spirit of the Most High when the book is closed, you wasting your time. I'm telling you. Because this is me learning how to be when the book is closed. That's why we're reading it. You ain't running around with no Bible in your hands 24/7. Somebody say something, let me go here. No, it's not like that. We're going over it now to know how to operate for the whole week.
Like you said, it's a formula.
Yeah, it's a formula. Right. It's like a recipe. People know how to cook and they don't know how to put that recipe together. Put this recipe together. Work with this and stop sinning. Add sin to sin.
11.
Yeah. Verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children.
See, it's rebellious people, lying children, lying a minute. Tell a lie in a minute, read.
Children that will not hear the law of the Most High.
Yeah, they'll hear everything else. Remember, they take counsel, but now they're the Most High. That's what they talking about. They talking about, hey, they running their mouth about this, that, whatever. But what about the laws of the Most High? What about taking the time to take the hours that it take to learn these lessons? And go over them, and go over them, and go over them. So you have it in your spirit. So when the book is closed, now you can operate like that. Other than that, you're not going to see this. Read.
Which say to the seers.
They say to the seers,
see not.
Don't look at us. You don't see me. That's what they say. You don't see me. You can't see me. Your eyes is blind. Go ahead.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
Yeah, don't prophesy to us right things. Read.
Speak unto us smooth things.
Hear smooth things. Read.
Prophesy deceit.
That's what you getting up in the churches. Deceit. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Come on. Like the brother was here saying, you gotta be born again. Now, what do you mean by born again? How you become a new creature? And you a Gentile. You teaching people you're a Gentile, and we the Israelites. See, all that stuff is just wrong. It's just lost. Destroyed for lack of knowledge. Really. When you look at it, all that's written here, and knowing what you should know and learning this truth, it should bring you to a higher level of spirituality. So you can work and operate in the law of the spirit. You'll have the laws. Once you learn the laws, and you start operating in the law of the spirit, you'll be able to move mountains into the sea. It's not going to happen. Those things not going to happen until you get your act together. Your spirit has to be right. It has to be right, and people around you got to be right. You got to make sure that you have a righteous surrounding some kind of way, that they at least respect you in what you're dealing with as trying to make it and helping them to make it. Because you make it, you can help them to make it. Because they can see by your righteousness, they should be able to change, or unless they just wicked and evil. If that's the case, you got to get rid of them. You can't deal with that. That you're going to all the time be trying to do exorcists. You're all the time be trying to perform exorcists. Trust me, I'm telling you. Because you can't work together. Two can't walk together if they don't agree. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Get ye out of the way.
So what they say? Get ye out of the way. Don't get in my way. Get out of my way. Read.
Turn aside out of the path.
Turn aside out of the path. Read.
Because the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're causing the Holy One of Israel to cease from before them. You can't go through the back door and get this. I'm telling y'all. That's why I tell people you better understand when you say love thy neighbor as thyself. So how you feel, how you operate as yourself, you're gonna look at it. You're gonna find the same way that somebody can operate with you, maybe on your job. You just come in there, you want to get whatever you want to get. They looking at you, they peeping at you the same way you don't want nobody to look at you. They looking at you to try and set you up. Because you're not operating properly with the ones in the truth. Like brother say, hey, just call me Ot, because everybody got Ot against me. I said, and everybody loved me on my job. I'm like, how is that? Something wrong with that, totally, right? You're supposed to be loving the brothers and sisters in the truth, more so than the ones out there in the world. I might check out a shop with his mother and his brother and his sister came to see him. Say, hey, your brother and your mother and your brother and your sister see you. He said, who is my mother and my brother and my sister? But them pointed to the ones he was teaching, say, them that do the will of my Father which is in heaven. That's your real spiritual mother and brother and sister. That's what he's saying. So what he's saying about his mother and his brother and his sister, they must have been doing the will of the Most High for him to say that. Because he's teaching those, just like we're learning right now, directly from the Spirit, like the Most High. Get out Hebrews 11 and 2. From the Spirit of Mashiach Yahushua. That's what he said. You can read 1, 2, just to bring it on home how the Most High operates.
Hebrews chapter 1, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
Right, so they say don't see me, so they want you to see how they acting. You say faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right?
For by it the elders obtain a good report.
Right. By faith the elders retain a good report. You see? This is what's important, man. Very, very important that we see this, because Mashiach Yahushua, he said he's going to send the Comforter. He said he's going to send the Comforter. So with the Comforter coming, he's bringing us to higher levels of having this faith in the Most High, that we can operate in these last days as he's giving us directions. Like you read Hebrews 11 and 1.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is a substance of things hoped for.
Hebrews 1 and 1.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1.
If somebody need to press star 6, so we hear a lot of rumbling or something on the phone. Go ahead.
The Most High Mashiach, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Right, so this is talking about the old scrolls of the Old Testament. He spoke to the prophets, the Most High spoke to the prophets, through the Spirit, through the angel. Read.
Hath in these last days,
that we in now, read,
spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things.
Right. He's spoken to us by a Mashiach Yahushua in these last days. That's why Mashiach Yahushua is the word of the Most High. The words that he speaks are not his own words, but the words that he gets from the Most High. The actions that he do are not his own actions, but it's the actions that he see the Most High do, he says. So he's speaking to us through a Mashiach Yahushua, through the Spirit, right?
By whom also he made the worlds.
By whom also he made the worlds, plural. Many worlds. Let's go back to Isaiah. The 30th chapter. Pick up where you left off.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 11. Get ye out of the way, turn aside out of the path, because the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
Yeah, so get you out of my way. I said, get out of my way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Because we understand the Holy One of Israel, we're going to find him in the volume of the book. We ain't going to just look in the New Testament. And if you look in the New Testament, still going to be things that's shown there that they never seen before. Because the pastors ain't going to show them that. They ain't going to read it on their own. Because if you don't really have the Spirit, then you're not going to see what the Most High wants you to see in this here. As far as this formula that he have. Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. You got to go through the whole volume of the book to get this. Read.
Wherefore, thus said the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon.
Yeah, you want to stay in this, in all the different religions and all the spiritual darkness that you have been put in. You want to stay there. Read.
Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall.
That's right, this iniquity. Because the Most High gave us laws, statutes, commandments. He didn't give us no religion. That's why our people are in spiritual darkness. There's going to be a breach ready to fall, read.
Swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly in an instant, at an instant.
That's right. He's going to break it apart, man, at an instant. I hope you're not part of it. Get Ecclesiastes 1 and 1. Hope you're not part of that, because he said he's going to break it down, they're going to fall down. But you got to pay attention. Got to lock into this truth, to the Most High. Read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 1 verse 1. All wisdom cometh from the Most High, and is with him forever.
Read it again.
All wisdom cometh from the Most High, and is with him forever.
That's right. All wisdom comes from the Most High, and is with him forever. What is wisdom? The proper application of knowledge. You know? And that's following his laws. Straight up. Proverbs 4 and 19. Proverbs 4 and 19.
Proverbs chapter 4 verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness.
See? The way of the wicked is as darkness. So how do you be in this light if he tell you the way of the wicked is as darkness? How do you be in the light? You get something about the light, Baruch 4 and 1. Let's find out about this light. Because it says the way of the wicked is darkness.
Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever.
These are commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever. Read.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that keep the law shall come to life. You'll come to everlasting life. Read.
But such as leave it shall die.
Right. Such as leave the law, you're going to die. So you're not taught the law, so you're going to die. And you set up to die. All of them that says we're not under the law. They're not going to have to follow the law of the Most High, but the law of the land. And you think the law of the land, you give them the law of the land more credence than the law of the Most High. Now, how do you justify that? You're going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. That's what it's saying, read.
Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof.
That's right. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They walk in the presence of the light thereof, read.
That thou mayest be illuminated.
That you may be illuminated. Isaiah 8 and 20. That you may be illuminated. It's your whole Proverbs. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. If they speak not according to the word of the Bible, there's no light in them. What does this light mean? Proverbs 6:23.
Proverbs chapter 6 verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
So the commandment is a lamp, read.
And the law is light.
And the law is light. But we're not taught that the law is light. We're taught we're not under the law. But we're under mercy and grace. This is a deception that's been told to the whole world while the world is in such madness. I mean, such violent crimes and so forth. They're stealing children all the time, you know. They got sex rings that they selling the children and putting them in and taking body parts, selling body parts and all these things that they're doing because nobody's following the laws that they should be following of the Most High, and there would be righteousness in the earth. There wouldn't be so much wickedness in the earth. You know, if they follow the laws of the Most High. Because in the kingdom, we're going to follow the laws of the Most High. Read that again.
For the commandment is a lamp.
So the commandments of the Most High is a lamp. How do you disclude the Most High's work that he done, giving us 613 laws, and then say that they null and void? And now we got to follow the law of the land. And you put more precedence on the law of the land than you do the law of the Most High. When he said the law is what?
A lamp.
A lamp, read.
And the law is light.
The law is light. Proverbs 3 and 1. That's the light. The law is the light. But then we're not taught that. Proverbs 3 and 1.
Proverbs chapter 3 verse 1.
Over and over again, listen.
My son, forget not my law.
Say, don't forget his law. Read.
But let thine heart keep my commandments.
So that your heart, your mind, which is your heart, keep his commandments. What is it going to do for you? Read.
For length of days.
For length of days. Read.
And long life.
And long life. Read.
And peace.
And peace. You want the peace? Keep the commandments. He going to bring the peace. if you keep the commandments. Read.
shall they add to thee.
Shall they add to thee. Okay? This is very important. Go back to Proverbs 4 and 19.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness.
So the way of the wicked is as darkness. Darkness. And not light. So the way of the wicked is as darkness. So if they're in darkness, that means they're not following the commandments of the Most High. That's why everybody been set up to fall. That's why, what did Mashiach say about it? Get Matthew 5 and 17. Did he say he got rid of the law? These preachers say you ain't under the law. Did Mashiach Yahushua say that?
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17.
Right.
Think not that I am come to destroy the law
See what he said? He said he ain't come to destroy the law, read.
or the prophets.
Or the prophets. That's the law. Where you find the law? The first 5 books of Moses and the prophets in the Old Testament. He come in a volume of book. He comes in the volume of the book, read.
I am